everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Frugal Vlogmas, day 16. Not long to go now. I'm feeling a lot better today, a lot more chirpy. I think I'm over the worst of it. Hopefully it was just one of those little blips and I've got my illness done before Christmas, because being ill at Christmas isn't fun. So thank you for all your support and your kind well wishes. And thanks, a couple of people have commented on my big thick coat. I actually got this for free a good few years ago now. Somebody at work was having a big clear out and they bought a big bag of clothes in that they were getting rid of and said that we could all just help ourselves. And I ended up with this coat, which is all nice and furry inside, big thick winter one, and an anorak as well. So that was really nice of her. So that was really good. So I'm well wrapped up for the winter. And I'm back in my greenhouse, my drafty greenhouse. I'm sorting out greenery, ready to decorate the house, and today I thought I would share with you the top 5 things I'm doing this year to save a little bit of money this Christmas. So I thought about it because I'm using just greenery to decorate the house for a lot of my decorations. I've got like holly and this plant that I still don't know the name of. I must Google it. I must take a picture and put it into Google, but it's just real sort of Christmassy colours. And I've got some yew hedge here and some lavender, the stuff I use to make my wreaths with, and I'm going to put some of it together to make little bunches of things to put around my pictures and that type of thing. So the top 5 things that I'm doing this year to save a little bit of money. Number 1 is I'm reusing stuff. I've made a big wreath to go on my front door, and I'm reusing the big bow on it. Is the same big bow that was on the wreath I made last year and the year before. Actually, it is on its 3rd year. I bought a big gold bow in a sale and I used it on the wreath, and then I wired it. I didn't glue gun it on, so I just unwired it, put it to one side at the end when we took the wreath down, and then I put it back on the wreath last year, and I've put it back on my wreath this year, so it's on its 3rd year, so I don't have to buy another big bow, and I think hopefully it'll do another couple of years. It is starting to fade just a little bit. It's not quite such vibrant gold colour now, but it still looks pretty good. So I'm reusing. I've already talked about that. I'm reusing all my old decorations. I'm not buying any more decorations. I'm just reusing ones I've already got. I'm reusing my clothes. I'm not buying a new outfit for Christmas, that sort of thing. So I'm reusing a lot of stuff. Oh, the other thing I've got is I got a little plastic Santa soap dispenser that I bought with soap in one year, and of course it's now empty, so I washed it out. I've kept it, and I'm just going to tip some of the hand soap we've got on the go in the Santa and put it on the sink for us to reuse for a bit of fun over Christmas. It's a bit of a Christmassy thing, but I haven't bought a new one. I've just washed it out and I'm reusing that as well. So that's another thing that I'm doing. Candle holders. I had some nice candle holders with a verse on, which we liked. They've got the candles sort of all in there, and we like them in remembrance of family members that have passed. And this year, because they've gone up to £3 each, I've had to buy another one, sadly. But the ones from last year, what I'm doing this year is I'm just putting a candle in. They're quite tall glass things. They do look like they need a bit of a clean out, and so I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. I'm going to tackle that next year. I've got so much going on. For this year, I'm just going to put a candle in the glass candle holder and light the candle, use it like that. So I'm reusing that as well. So that's a few things that I'm reusing. The second thing I'm doing is I'm cutting down. I'm cutting down things where in the past I've bought, say, 3 packets of crisps. I'm just buying 2. Where I've bought 3 boxes of a certain chocolate, I'm just buying 2. Or if I bought 2, I'm just buying 1. And it's a little saving here, a little saving there. What I'm going to do is, if I actually run out of food, which is doubtful, but if I do, or somebody goes, oh, we've used the last such and such and I really like those, have we got any more, and I haven't, then I am going to pop. My daughter, she lives locally, and she said, oh, I'll just pop to the shop, Mum, and get more if we need it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm cutting down in little ways. So I've cut down on a few of the snack type things we buy, and like certain ice creams. I thought, everything's gone so expensive. So I've cut down a little bit. I haven't bought quite as many. So you just sort of have a taster rather than you sort of eat loads. But as I say, if you're watching in the family and you're thinking, oh my gosh, we're going to Mum's Christmas and there's going to be nothing to eat, we've got plenty, absolutely plenty. And if we run out, we'll get more if we need it. So I've cut it down on food. I've also spending a little less on gifts. For example, in the past, if I've thought, right, I'll spend £15 and then I see a really nice gift and say it's £13, I'm not spending an extra £2 to make up the money. That's if it's it's just a roundabout. I'm doing this like my niece's birthday and I have a little budget in mind, but I've got her a really nice gift and I thought I don't need to spend a couple of pound on some bit of tat that she doesn't really want just to make up the money. That's a nice gift. That's what I'm giving her. And I've also cut down a little bit on gifts anyway. So if I was spending say £20 for somebody, I've cut it down to say about 15ish. Although if it's 16, it's fine. But you know what I mean? So I'm cutting down a little bit on what I'm spending on everybody this year. Because if you're buying for a lot of people, even if you knock £1 off, you can still save yourself quite a bit of money, you know. So I've sort of lowered the budget for gifts this year, just a little bit, just to make things a little bit easier. Because everything has gone up so much, as we know. Right, the third thing is Christmas cards. I've cut right down on Christmas cards. The cost of postage now is scary. And we sort of talked to the family, and a lot of people, they're thinking the same thing. So they're not offended that I'm not sending a Christmas card, because it means they don't have to send me one back and spend all that money on the postage. So apart from immediate family, and then people that I can hand deliver to, so local friends and stuff, other people were sending messages, things like that, or if there's family get-togethers, sometimes if you can get organised. A friend of mine is very organised and she always holds a family get-together right at the beginning of December, usually around the 2nd or 3rd, the first weekend in December. And she has all her family round and she does a bit of a buffet and stuff, and she hands out all Christmas presents and Christmas cards then. And if they can't make the get together, they don't get their gift till the next time she sees them, because she said she just cannot afford all the extra postage and stuff. And so she holds a family gathering early, gets really well organised, hand delivers everything, and that's what she does. And that cuts down on the postage and stuff like that, and all that type of thing. So that's what I've done, is I've really cut down on the Christmas cards. I keep looking down because I have written a little list, because I've got a brain like a bucket. So yes. And I've done 5 top things and I've only written 4 down. And I know I had another one to share with you and I can't think what it was. So far we've done reusing, we've done the cutting down, we've done Christmas cards, making my own when possible. I make my own wreaths. Do you know, I went Christmas shopping and I saw, I've made a big door wreath to go on my door, and it must have cost me, about £2.50, because I had the wreath ring, which was about 50 pence or something for the wreath ring, and then obviously there was a bit of wire involved. I'd bought a couple of little decoration things in the sale last year that were about 50 pence to £1, and say a bit of glue for my glue gun and a bit of wire. Say tops it was £2.50, because obviously I got all my greenery and stuff. They were selling similar size, very similar wreaths to mine for £50. £50 outside this florist by Chinley at the car. I was like, blooming heck, that is astronomical price. I've just made one for about £2.50 and it looks great. Reuse the ribbon, so you know I've got the big ribbon on it. £50. Some lady in my comment said they're averaging their wreaths up there £25. So if you can make your own, so much better. So I'm making a lot of my own stuff. So I'm making my own wreaths. I make a big hanging thing to go outside my back door, which is literally just some branches of greenery. I decorate the house a lot with greenery. to cut things down. And then I make my own Yule log for a table decoration. It's a log, it's been going strong for years, this log. It was a really nice shaped log. My husband drilled me a hole in the top for me to put a candle in, and I've got an artificial robin on it. Now I noticed today, because I've started getting things out, that the ribbon on it and I'd got these pine cones had all sort of got crushed and that, so I've taken those off and I'm just going to freshen it up, bit as usual. I've got some fresh ribbon that, look, I got in the sale. It was actually 50p, everything was half price. So I've got some ribbon, and then I've got some pine cones which are free, and I'm just going to glue those on my Yule log. So I'm making my own. I'm making my own cake, Christmas cake. And do you know, I fancied some mince pies the other day. I fancied some mince pies, but I didn't have any mince meat in the cupboard. But I had all the ingredients in the cupboard to make a bit of pastry, and in my freezer I've got stewed apple from when I was given apples, and I've been stewing apples. So I made some apple pies. So I made some little apple pies. I quickly made some pastry up, and then I defrosted the stewed apple, and I made apple pies and jam tarts because I'd got a bit of jam left in the cupboard as well. So I made my own, and instead of having mince pies, we had apple pies and jam tarts. They were really nice. So I didn't need to go to the shop and buy anything, and if I'd gone down for mince pies, I probably would have bought something else as well. I just used what I had in the house. So I think that was going to be number 5, actually. Use what you've got. Use what you've got. Don't just think, oh, I need X. Think, what can I use instead of? So I made apple pies instead of mince pies because that's what I've got. I've got some cherries left in the cupboard. I've got some green and some red cherries. Glacé cherries. So when I make my Christmas cake now, that's what I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using green and red cherries. So it's going to be more of a cherry cake. I have got some raisins. I haven't got sultanas. I'm not going to bother going to buy any. I'm going to use what I've got in the cupboard. That sort of thing. So it's using what you have and try and think, oh, how can I perhaps use something in a different way? As I say, like the apple pies, like the candle holders. So it's a bit of a sort of, is it possibly number 5 or is it 4B? Possibly, but you get the idea. I'm having a look round. I make my own Christmas crackers. That was another thing, you know, I make my own stuff, and that does save a lot of money. And using what you've got, as in 4B or number 5, I've got loads of brown paper from Amazon. When you have Amazon deliveries and you know they put brown paper. So I'm going to use that to wrap some of my Christmas presents, and then just put a nice pretty bit of ribbon around it because this is what I've got, and make pretty parcels so I don't have to go and buy other things. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. So yeah, that was a bit of a ramble, but that's what I'm doing. I'm saving money by doing these different things this year. Just try and cut down a little bit. And as the old saying goes, you look after the pennies, the pounds will look after themselves. And you could still have a really good Christmas. Okay, sorry, I got distracted with something. So that is just a few ways that I am saving some more money this Christmas. I will probably think of loads more once I turn the camera off, because that seems to be how I go. But there we are. That was, there we are. I'm just trying to save a few pennies here and there and do the best I can this year. So I hope you're doing the same. I hope you're finding some great ways to save a few pennies and still having a lovely, lovely Christmas. I sometimes think the build-up is much better than the actual event, because I'm having such fun doing all this stuff, like, you know, making the crackers and going around collecting holly and all the rest of it. I do find the build-up is a lot of fun. So I hope you're enjoying that too. So thank you for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. And until next time, let's stay frugal.